On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome you all to the Commission this morning. We are gathered here to kickstart one of the most important processes in the lead-up to the December 2024 general election. Indeed, without this process, the Commission cannot run the election. And here, I'm referring to the filing of nominations by presidential candidates who are seeking to contest the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Regulation 7 of CI 127 enjoins a presidential candidate to complete and sign 4 copies of the nomination forms. Additionally, the forms are to be signed by no less than 2 persons who are registered voters in the area of authority of each district assembly. The presidential candidate is also required to designate a person to serve as his or her vice presidential candidate. Furthermore, the presidential candidate is required to deliver the forms to the Commission on the date prescribed by the Commission.
Emobia kwaba eba pro television so oba no me subscribe button no me notification bell no yetena se bia de ekoso efa election before, during and after election be eba so mo nti ede pro lens and pro television akabom ade pro elections your election hub ede eba so mo pro television so tidbit de ekoso baby a various candidates no mo nenam bia no yede hu komo eba so mo na onim se election edu so a ebe ide obia boa no ho na 2024 election enipa 39 and a picking presidential forms enipa 39 a picking presidential forms say ombe gina na yeto omso aba no mo win emu 27 individuals omo party bia ho omo ano ma sorry no ma da so da ye hu se omo di omo ani so bi ye omo vision that was any aims omo say omo di omo ani so tigana fo nto aba ma omo ana emu 12 join the political party emu 12 your political parties and as MPP NDC CPP GCPP PNC LPG na omo akwa peke omo ene omo akwa file omo nomination ewo EC makwa file nomination wo EC now people will say elect na presidential election forms na ne boy say 2020 maybe 2016 na ye 50,000 Ghana cedis na 2020 EC epeje mu eba 100,000 Ghana cedis because say beto odwan nkrofo we ka say sika ne board ndodo adan EC so EC say apetampe maybe odian nti na nkrofo hwe nti ebia 2024 election obesan peje mu bimba we dey EC say there be me go su di apetampe na 2020 de de to ye na sika mutu aye no eno ana mbetu 2020 sika no na ye 100,000 Ghana cedis e de ma presidential obeso obedi president obetu 100,000 Ghana cedis 100,000 Ghana cedis now they ba bedi ana parliamentary so one person mo call parliament no so no mo so mo filing fee no almost filing fee ni na ye 10,000 Ghana cedis 10,000 Ghana cedis into 100,000 Ghana cedis for presidential candidates filing fee then 10,000 Ghana cedis for parliamentary candidate and also filing fee no then they do na ene me no ka say do na that is ene Monday 9th September 2024 do na ashase submit omo forms no do na de ko moko fa do na makotu ewi omo de ko no ti womo a de bia akọ no ebi ene womo a ede omo anansa akọ file omo nomination one vice president Dr. Baumia osanye NPP amanyoko no omo Frank Atuni all of that screen so no wa submit ne de ode ne de ekọ ana afei wan so biem na de ekọ Omampanyin dada JDM Omampeni dada nam sanam kanu Omampeni dada JDM John Dramani Mahama ene NDC for ewura esiedu ketia ene ai omo e wandi mpenifo e wandi ko nim no omo so akọ submit omo de ebi na wo hwɛ no afei womo a esudi omo de bi akọ eye Hassan Ayariga ono so e de ne de ekọ APC ono so e de ne de ekọ Nana Kwame Bediako the new force or independent candidate ono so e de ne de ekọ one biem Ghana Union Movement womo so de omo de ekọ Liberal Party of Ghana Kofi Akpalu so e de de ekọ dodo na de omo de ekọ me won parliamentary candidate ni so ebi mo so e submit omo so ana so omo akọ file omo nomination una ti kroma na sika ni ha sika e wa ha pa wani bere se wo pe biribi a akọ pe sika no be bia 100,000 Ghana cedis so bi di se che da de sika koma abi enti omo de akọ Mr. George Chumberema Adu ono so ye independent candidate ono so de ne de ekọ yenhwe wo mo akọ file omo nomination yenhwe omo video ni bi na ECD assembly atudwa tama omo ko ye na omo file omo nomination no or the assembly atudwa ye be bo no so am o ahwe.
It's a good thing because he's God of the Electoral Commission, so it's good that you this welcome. But anyway, a good morning, Mr. Nana Kwame Bediako, popularly known as Cheddar, independent presidential candidate, and to your lovely wife as well and your team. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome you all to the commission this morning. We are gathered here to kickstart one of the most important processes in the lead-up to the December 2024 general election. Indeed, without this process, the Commission cannot run the election. And here, I'm referring to the filing of nominations by presidential candidates who are seeking to contest the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Regulation 7 of CI 127 enjoins a presidential candidate to complete and sign 4 copies of the nomination forms. Additionally, the forms are to be signed by no less than 2 persons who are registered voters in the area of authority of each district assembly. The presidential candidate is also required to designate a person to serve as his or her vice presidential candidate. Furthermore, the presidential candidate is required to deliver the forms to the Commission on the date prescribed by the Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, as in 2020, the Commission has established 2 teams which have been tasked to review all the forms submitted. The technical team has been tasked to scrutinize the forms submitted to ensure that the candidate meets the requirements as set out by law, namely, that the presidential candidate is at least 40 years of age, and I hope you are.
Yes, please.
That he or she has satisfied all tax obligations, that he or she has nominated a vice presidential candidate, amongst others. The second team, namely the IT team, has been charged with the responsibility of scrutinizing all voter ID cards of the presidential candidates and their supporters to ensure that the candidates are indeed registered voters. Both teams have been provided adequate training and have been oriented to carry out their functions as prescribed by law. The guiding principle for both teams is clear. They are to operate within the confines of the law. They are not to exercise discretion in the matter. Above all, they've been tasked to be fair and yet firm in executing their duties. We have no doubt that the process will be transparent, fair, and peaceful. Additionally, we are confident that the 5-day period provided for the filing process, as opposed to the 2 days provided prior to 2020, will allow enough time for presidential candidates to correct any errors identified in their forms. We are confident that this would help to eliminate the tensions and rancor that characterized nomination processes prior to the 2020 election. I welcome you warmly to the Electoral Commission once again, and thank you for personally coming to submit your nomination forms this morning. As the returning officer for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election, I will now receive your forms. Your forms will be subjected to vetting and scrutiny by our teams. I'd like to assure you that our teams will go to work immediately on your forms and will contact you within the shortest possible time to inform you of the decision arrived at. I'd like to thank you for your time, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and
Thank you very much. On behalf of the team of the new force, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to this nation, country, Ghana, first of all. And secondly, we would like to thank the EC for all the works that they have put up in the past decades of this country. I want to say that democracy works in this country, and we appreciate that very much. That for us to have the right to be a part of our national governance gives us hope for this future can be built, not by foreigners, but by citizens of this country. And that alone gives me hope to be a Ghanaian. I'm proud to be one. I would also like to use this opportunity to thank you, Jane Mensah. This job is not just for a woman, but you have proven yourself that you're a woman with strength to lead a nation. For us to go through this moment, this election is a tough one. It's a lot of tension, and I pray that God gives you the strength, the willpower, and the great knowledge and wisdom to be able to help your country to go through this moment. And let there be peace, let there be love, let there be understanding, and let us build our country together. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Frank Owusu-Frimpong, the National Communication Director for Ghana Union Movement. We are here to present the nomination of our candidate. And with me is Ni Odoelai. He is the chairman for the Council of Elders. The next is Benjamin Teteyemo, the national organizer. Next to him is Uthman Hafiz. He is the Greater Accra Regional Chairman. The next is Mr. Raymond Kumoji, the Administrative Secretary for the GUM office, head office. And the next to him is Mrs. Catherine. She is the personal assistant for the presidential candidate. And on my immediate left is Anthony Kojo Ahimfo Gold, the General Secretary of Ghana Union Movement. Thank you.
Good morning once again. I am Anthony Gold Ahimfo, the General Secretary of Ghana Union Movement. We are here this morning to present all the requisite documents for the nomination of our presidential candidate, Christian Kwabena Andrews, who for some very important reasons is not here with us now. With me are the forms for those proposing his candidature. The passports or portrait-sized pictures, a check of 100,000 Ghana cedis, tax clearance certificate for the presidential candidate, tax clearance certificate for the running mate, and a letter from the party endorsing his candidature. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tete, and a good morning to the General Secretary and your delegation from the Ghana Union Movement. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome you to the commission this morning.
The isi nkoma one more eco file nomination no nkoma oni owadi no ebi na yakwakotie na so for one more so akọ file nomination bi e na wahwe na sign goes on no the omo kọ file nomination the fa the fa election ho bia no yeah the baba besom our pro elections so your election hub eti protect any pro lens for the boy chi dom na netenase e the pro elections abesom pro television so me so oba me subscribe button na me notification bell no so e my said e be ya de ekoso e fa ye 2024 election mu bia onsu benya bi ahwe na on our next episode no maminti won kakra e ma pro elections no one more call filing nomination e bi mu de nsem bi atudwa ha eno na ye next episode I de ba so no watie so far speeches and as omo file nominations we the omo kan no watie bi